Denny Van here, your host with Heartfelt Awakening Radio, and we are continuing on our journey to, discovering this spiritual awakening process for self-directed healing. And in this session, we're going to talk about the power of the healing team. And I learned about the power of the healing team with Dr. Gary Flint's work. And one of the first things that we do with the intention of setting up your healing team. First thing is, it's all you. Nothing outside of you is needed. So one of the first things that we do is get permission. Get permission. So in doing energy work, if you're an energy worker, an empath, or a light worker, when sending energy to someone or sending prayers to someone, we usually seek out permission. So I ask permission. Asking permission is key. So one of the first things we do as we're getting ready to set up the healing team is ask permission. Permission to create my healing team. And I use a pendulum to show me yes, no, maybe, polarized responses. I directed my pendulum to show me what a yes is, show me what a no is, show me what a maybe is, and show me what a polarized response is. So those are the things that I communicate with my pendulum. And one of the first things I do is ask permission. Ask permission to assemble the healing team. And when I get a yes, I know I have permission. And so then I explain what the healing team consists of. It consists of 3 things that are you. All of these things are you. This is our conscious awareness, what we're consciously putting our focus, awareness, and attention on. And when we're doing the work, we put our focus, awareness, and attention on the pain scale number that we're working on. So if we're working on something that creates a 7, 8, or 9, or even a 10 on the pain scale, and that means 10 means the worst, the absolute worst. So if you're putting your focus, awareness, and attention on it, you're using the first part of the healing team, your conscious awareness, what you're consciously aware of. And so as I look and say, this number is an 8, it's causing pain in my life, I'm not able to move forward, it causes self-sabotage, it causes me to adopt behaviors that are not me, it causes triggers, whatever that response is, you're aware of it. So we must have the permission of your focus, awareness, and attention and what you're putting your awareness on. The second part of the healing team is our unconsciousness, what's happening in the unconscious. And if you think about it, what we are focused and aware of is usually only about 10% of what's actually happening, right? 90% of what's happening usually comes from this unconscious part of us. We could experience something in our material world, in our 3D world, and it wakes up parts in this unconscious part of us that triggers us, that makes us behave in ways that we don't normally behave, that makes us react in ways we don't normally react. And so these parts begin to take over and take over our personality, literally. So we become aware and we want to work with the unconscious, because as these parts wake up, we want their permission, their willingness to be integrated into the healing team. Because right now, these parts are not integrated. They wake up and bleed into our personality, take over our personality, and then we're triggered. We're kind of out of control during this process, aren't we? If you deal with symptoms of PTSD, anxiety, and those kind of things, you've experienced what I'm talking about. Somebody says something or does something, and all of a sudden you're behaving in ways that you don't normally behave. So these parts woke up within you. Part of the power of the healing team is asking these parts that wake up, hey, parts that are waking up, are you willing to integrate all of your knowledge, wisdom, and understanding into the healing team, While the third part of the healing team, this super consciousness that we are, this intelligence that we are, is instructed to do a massive rewrite and reprogramming of these parts while integrating all of their knowledge, wisdom, and understanding into the healing team. So these three parts comprise of your healing team: your conscious awareness, what you're aware of consciously; the unconscious, we're not aware of what's going on in there. And usually we're only aware of it once it's been triggered, right? Then we have this super consciousness that we are, that sees both what we are focused on and sees the entangled web of all of these parts that begin to wake up as we're focused in on it. Then the healing team is instructed. There are instructions given to the healing team by way of a metaphor. And we use the metaphor to give the superconscious the instructions on how to rewrite all of these programs. What we want to do is get permission of each of these parts to be integrated into the healing team. They must give us permission. There may be parts, and we have a process for this. Some parts will wake up and they won't want to share. We want these parts to willingly share. So we will ask these parts. Sometimes these parts that wake up, they're afraid they're going to die, or they're not going to be listened to, or for some other reason, they don't want to integrate their knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. They may feel like they're giving up control. What's imperative is that we have the permission of these parts to be integrated into the healing team. So we use NLP and hypnotherapy in this process to ask these parts, are you willing to have a conversation with the healing team so you can make a conscious choice to integrate all of your wisdom, knowledge, and understanding while the superconscious part that we are rewrites all of these programs to release the reactions, release the responses, release the emotions, release the ideas, beliefs, and programmings that no longer serve us. Let those go, but keep all of the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of each of these parts and integrate them into the healing team. And what's important is not only are these parts sharing their wisdom and knowledge with the healing team is sharing all of its wisdom, knowledge, and understanding with each of these parts. This is the integration. This is when we release, and this is the superconscious doing the work, doing the reprogramming work of releasing the reactions, the emotions, the responses, the self-sabotage, all of these things that pull us back into our comfort zone when we're getting to that point of a breakthrough. Maybe success in our business, maybe doing something we've never experienced before. We get to that point where we're feeling uncomfortable. This will wake up parts and pull us back into our comfort zone. However, if these parts are integrated with all of their wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, this is where the magic happens. So using the pain scale, first, what are you putting your focus, awareness, and attention on? I'm putting it on an AIDS. I get angry when this happens. Parts within me wake up and it takes over my personality. I'm not able to make clear decisions. I'm not able to think clearly because these parts wake up and take over. So we teach the superconscious through allegory, and we tell the superconscious part of the healing team a story. And this story teaches the superconscious how to do the integration work. And the allegory, the mind might not get. The mind might be saying, I don't get it. But the superconscious understands and now does the work. And this is the power of the healing team, because now the healing team goes through a process of healing and resting. Healing and resting. So we're not feeling it on a physical level, the work that is going on. Because if we felt the pain, these parts would become triggered and then not integrate into the healing team. So we want to create a space where we're not feeling any of this pain at all. And so the superconscious does this by oscillating between healing and resting. And the importance of being present and your focus, awareness, and attention being present during this process. Because we did learn as I'm working on a client, if the client's focus, awareness, and attention goes off on something else, we discovered the power of your focus, awareness, and attention. That when you go off on something else, the work is no longer being done. So then we begin to understand the importance of training our focus, awareness, and attention to keep it on there so that the healing team can do the work. And so as we begin to use these energy tools to communicate with the healing team and to integrate all of these parts so that we can move forward from a space of being whole, because there is nothing you need to complete you. You are already whole. And so as all of these parts come on board and give the command to the superconscious to proceed with this reprogramming and integration process, it's all done for you. That is the beauty of this. And so all of this is already happening. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be getting into more of this and how, as you apply this, how your life begins to transform from the inside out. I look forward to seeing you next time.